Yeah.
And today we're going deep on Google Firebase.
Ooh, Firebase.
Firebase, yeah. So this is going to be, I think, a really fascinating look at kind of what is a really powerful suite of tools that are available for developing apps.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're, a tech enthusiast or you're maybe preparing for a conversation you're going to have, you need to know about Firebase, or if you're just interested in, how modern apps are built and what goes into them. This is the episode for you.
Right.
So where we're going to be pulling our information from today is going to be the official Firebase website.
Straight from the source.
Straight from the source, yeah.
Google's own words about their platform.
Exactly. So this is Google telling us about this platform and why it's important.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to try to do today is cut through all the noise and just kind of extract like what is the essence of Firebase? What is it? What does it offer? And kind of what are the key takeaways that you should know without getting bogged down in all the details and the technical jargon.
Right. The signal, not the noise.
Exactly. So I think a good place to start would be just, at the highest level, what is Firebase?
So Firebase is essentially Google's platform for mobile and web app development.
Okay.
So, their objective is to help developers build and run their apps effectively.
Okay. So it's backed by Google, which obviously is a big name. And the website actually mentions that it's trusted by millions of businesses around the world.
Oh, wow.
Including some big names that I think a lot of people would recognize. NPR, Halfbrick, the makers of Duolingo and Fruit Ninja, and even Venmo.
Oh, yeah.
Use Firebase.
So this is a serious platform. It's not just a little toy. This is something that real companies depend on.
Real companies are using to, build and maintain their apps. So the way that they kind of break down the Firebase platform on their website is with two main pillars: build and run.
Okay, so build and run. Makes sense.
Makes sense.
If you're building an app, you have to build it and then you have to run it.
You got to build it and you got to run it. So let's start with build.
Okay.
And what they say about building is it's all about getting your app to market quickly and securely and with products that can scale globally.
Okay.
So they're really thinking about, not only just building the app, but building an app that can grow potentially to a global audience.
Right.
And they offer a whole suite of products that fall under this build umbrella.
Okay, so this is where the meat of the platform is.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of stuff do they offer?
So, we're talking about things like authentication, which is all about managing user logins.
Right. Essential for any app where you have users.
Absolutely. Then you have different ways to store and sync app data. So they have Firestore and real-time database.
Okay, so two different approaches to data.
Two different approaches to data, yeah.
Okay, so you can choose what works best for you.
Exactly. They have cloud functions, which is a way to run back-end code without managing servers.
Oh, so that's serverless. That's really interesting.
Serverless, yeah. So this is a big, for a lot of developers, this is a big draw.
Yeah, it takes a lot of the headache out of managing your app.
Absolutely.
You don't have to think about servers and all of that.
You don't need to know anything about servers.
Exactly.
They have hosting, so that's for deploying your web applications.
Okay.
Cloud storage for storing files like images and videos.
Makes sense.
They have Firebase ML, so you can, if you want to build machine learning into your app.
Oh, wow. So that's getting into some advanced stuff.
Yeah, that's a little more advanced, but it's available right there for you.
Wow.
App check, which is to secure your back-end resources.
Okay, so they're taking security seriously.
Absolutely.
That's good to know.
And then they have a couple other things here. They have app hosting, which is a separate offering. They have Data Connect, which is for connecting to existing data.
Okay.
And then this is where it gets really interesting. They have something called extensions.
Extensions.
So you can think of these as prepackaged code modules that you could just plug into your app to do common tasks that might otherwise be kind of time consuming to build yourself.
Right.
And they give some really specific examples here. So like, say you want to stream data to BigQuery.
Oh, interesting.
Which is Google's, big data analysis platform.
Right.
There's an extension for that.
Okay.
So you can just plug that in and you're good to go. If you want to embed search capabilities from Algolia into your app,
cool.
You can do that. If you want to implement payment processing with Stripe, there's an extension for that.
Wow. So basically all the common stuff
All the common stuff
people need.
is pre-built, and you just
Plug it in.
plug it in and go.
Yeah.
So, for developers, this is huge because it saves them so much time and effort.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't have to reinvent the wheel every time they want to add a new feature.
Exactly.
And then they also, really emphasizing the integration of generative AI into Firebase.
Oh, interesting. AI is the big thing these days,
Yeah.
so that makes sense that they're pushing that.
Yeah, so they mentioned specifically GingKit and Vertex AI in Firebase, and then, Google's Gemini.
Right.
And they really, talk about building AI-powered experiences.
Yeah.
So, the future is AI, and they're giving developers the tools to build those AI experiences right into their apps.
That's amazing. So this build section is really about like just giving you all the tools you need to make a really great app.
Yes. All the building blocks you need.
And do it quickly.
And do it quickly.
Do it securely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, we built our app now.
Yeah. Okay, we built it.
What do we do next?
Got to run it.
Got to run it.
Right.
So this is the second pillar. Run.
Okay, run.
And really what this is all about is once your app is out in the wild, how do you make sure that it runs smoothly, that it's delivering a good experience to your users, and that you can, constantly be improving it?
Right, right.
So some of the products that they offer under this run umbrella are Crashlytics, which is all about understanding and fixing app crashes.
Okay, so if your app crashes on someone's phone, you can actually see what
You
happened.
can see what happened, you figure out why it crashed, and hopefully fix it.
Right.
They have performance monitoring, so you can track the speed and responsiveness of your app,
Okay.
make sure it's running smoothly.
That's important.
Yeah, it's super important. And then, of course, they have Google Analytics, which is all about understanding user behavior. What are people doing in your app? Where are they spending their time? What are they clicking on? All that kind of stuff.
So you can see what's working, what's not working.
Exactly. And then they have a couple other things. They have app distribution, which is for, releasing beta versions of your app to testers.
Okay.
So you can get feedback before you release it to the wider public.
Right, right.
They have something called remote config, which is really cool. This lets you actually change the behavior and appearance of your app without having to release a new update. So, say you want to, change the color of a button.
Okay.
You can do that remotely without having to push a new version of the app to the App Store.
That's really handy.
It's really handy. They have A/B testing, which is, for experimenting with different features and seeing which ones perform better.
Okay.
Cloud messaging for sending push notifications.
Sure.
In-app messaging for, communicating with users while they're in your app. And then they have Test Lab, which lets you test your app on a bunch of different devices to make sure it works properly across all those devices.
Oh, that's really important.
Yeah, because you don't want to release an app that, only works on the latest iPhone.
Right.
And then breaks on older Android devices.
Exactly.
So, the run pillar is really about making sure that your app is stable, it's high quality, and it's delivering a good experience to all of your users.
Yeah, I mean, as a user, that's what I care about. I just want the app to work.
Exactly. You just want it to work.
You want it to be fast.
Yeah.
You don't want it to crash.
No crashes.
Yeah.
So Firebase doesn't exist in a vacuum.
Right.
It integrates with a whole bunch of other tools and services.
Okay, so it's not just like a standalone thing.
Look.
It fits into the whole ecosystem.
The ecosystem, yeah. So first of all, it integrates really well across different platforms. So we're talking iOS, Android, web, and they even mentioned support for things like Flutter, Unity, and C++.